We are ready.
Hooray! Welcome back, everybody, to That Pretentious Book Club.
Welcome back.
You know you missed us. She loves you. Do you love me? I didn't get an I love you. Well, if maybe I did, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, we couldn't hear anything at first.
Yeah, and it was my fault, but I was just assuming that it was Kendall's fault with like her technology. Because I also have already used all of my equipment today and it was fine, but I was a dum-dum, so it was all me.
It's a valid assumption. Usually things are not.
I'm just like, what if I leave her hanging and don't even be like, I wonder if it might be me. So I'm just over here like on my phone, not even hearing her.
I was like unplugging things, like switching all my inputs. Like, what is going on?
That's the worst.
It's all good. We worked
Anyways,
out.
that over there is your host, Kendall Shaw, aka Dr. Spoon's Palermo.
Hi, howdy. And over there is Ash O'Rourke, but you can call her Wheezy.
It ain't easy being Wheezy. Oh, we did it. Good job.
We did it
that
early
was a good job
too.
for us. We did. I know, because I wanted to tell everybody, listen, if you don't like nonsense, if you came here for the book, the whole book and nothing but the book, use the skip notes in the episode description because you're not going to want to hear any of this.
Yeah, just do it now.
You can skip
Ready?
ahead.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Okay, so now that all the cool people are still here.
Now we can talk trash about all the other people who just left.
Oh, they like want to know about literature. Ew, they're so
gross.
boring.
Man, they're like, I don't have the time for this. And it's like, okay, but maybe you should just make the time for us.
Maybe you should make the time for us to get crazy. Look what I've done. I have a thing of boxed wine.
Hell yes.
Isn't that so embarrassing? I don't know why I'm telling everybody, but
that's awesome. Was that strawberry boxed wine?
It is strawberry rosé indeed.
Wow.
And it tastes delicious.
I've got just some whiskey on the rocks over here. Mm-hmm. It looks like a lot more than it is. It's because my ice cubes have melted. It's not that much, but
yeah, sure, Ash. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, totally. I wanted to have wine, but I opened up because my mom is moving in with us soon while she builds her house on our property. So I don't know if you guys are new here, you probably don't know that. But anyways, so we're like, she's slowly like sending like loads of stuff over here. And so she sent over a load of like a bunch of pantry stuff, which is great because my pantry is always basically empty, and like some wine with it. And so I was like, hey, can I open a bottle of wine? And I opened one of these bottles of wine. She's like, yeah, I've had that one forever. I opened it and I was like, yeah, it tastes like it. Like, I don't know where this old wine is fine wine. I don't understand where this comes from, because every single time that I've had a wine that's like old or been stored away somewhere, it has always been like vinegar. Ew. So I'm like, I know it's not supposed to be like this. So I just want to know. So anyways, I was originally going to have wine and then it didn't work out. So I'm back to being a whiskey girl, which is actually okay because I made today I made these sweet rolls. They are orange flavored sweet rolls and they're like multicolored. So I did like a orange, I colored a layer orange and flavored it orange, and then it's like normal kind of biscuit dough. And then I put like sugar on the inside and rolled it all up so it's a little spiral. And then I put a vanilla rum glaze on it. And it was so good.
Hello. I'm coming over now.
I know. And like, I think something about like the flavor profile, I was just like, yeah, I need whiskey with this for sure. So I still like the flavor of like the orange vanilla rum, like sweet roll in my mouth. Delicious. Stop.
Where is your Great British Baking Show moment? It's coming.
I know.
That's what that sounded like. Ash is preparing a warm vanilla orange roll recipe from her gran. They always say it's like from their gran.
Actually, it's my gran's drop biscuit recipe, and I modify it for everything. And I'll use it for cinnamon rolls or drop biscuits or sweet rolls. Like I'll just modify a little bit of this and that in it, and then it's great. So I'm like trying out different recipes for to take and sell at the farmer's market, basically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's one of them. I'm thinking I was going to do a strawberry rose flavored sweet roll.
Shut up. That one's for me, right?
Yeah, it's for you. And then I was thinking of like an Earl Grey lavender one, which is kind of classic, or an Earl Grey honey one, which is more like my speed.
These sound so good.
Oh, they sound good. And so I'm just kind of like, what if I just did a bunch of different varieties of sweet rolls? And Howie was like, it's fine. Like when he tried it, and I was like, what do you mean it's fine? He's like, I'm just kidding, it's good. Then I was like, but you didn't even finish it. And he's like, well, and I was like, is it because I overcooked them a little bit on accident? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, they're a little overcooked. And I was like, I know.
You're like offended, but you're like, he's right.
I'm like, I know he's right. Because I don't know why every now and then I forget who my husband is. And I think that he'll lie to me and be nice. He won't. He's never mean like about that stuff. To. But yeah, well, he was just really careful. He was just not saying anything. And I was like, But I want to sell this stuff, so I need an actual opinion. So
well, I'll come over and you can do it again, and then I'll be your taste tester.
Fantastic.
And I will taste all of them, even if they're overcooked. I will.
Heck yeah. Well, see, I still think they taste good, even though they're a teeny bit overcooked.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Anyways,
sounds pretty good.
That's not that you asked about my week, but because I've already given you guys so much information. That plus I've been rewriting one of my old books, and I'm like only have 100 pages left to go, so I'm 2/3 of the way done, which is awesome. It's been very hard.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think it's turning out really good. It is, and it's just so difficult because I'm like moving scenes around, which I've never done before. So I'm like reordering the whole book. So then I have to like rewrite and be like, wait, this information hasn't been made public yet to the characters. So now I have to like, oh, it's a whole thing. And I complain about it a lot on our sister podcast, the Scripturian Society. So if you guys like want a lot more information about that, I can't imagine why you would, but if you want it, it's there. But yeah, so that's pretty much been my week. That and I have corn growing.
Corn?
I'm growing corn.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it grew like as soon as it sprouted, like 2 or 3 days after I put it in the ground, which was a huge relief because I was afraid that it wasn't gonna, because our soil's not that great, and I hadn't like gone out and like gotten a bunch of like planting soil like I needed, and so I was just kind of winging it. Because the corn, I guess corn has a really long growing season. So I was like, I can't afford to keep waiting. And so I put it in the ground, and now so that was like a couple days ago that they sprouted, and now they're like 3 or 4 inches tall. One of them is like 6 inches tall. Like they are growing so fast.
Wow.
And I planted all my other stuff today, or most of my other stuff today. So now I just have to, get one more bag of soil to do my other like little garden hill thing, and then plant some like beans and stuff and squash and a pumpkin patch, which pumpkin I thought you would like. Yeah, we're gonna have a pumpkin patch. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Patch. It's happening.
It's happening. And I grew some sunflowers, but I've never been lucky with them. So we'll see if they're actually gonna grow. I planted some.
I bet they will. You're on fertile, blessed ground. It's going to be a Garden of Eden.
Yeah, it's actually just sand over here for some reason. We looked at, I know, it's the worst. We looked in like an aerial picture of the area that we live in, and all the other properties are like pretty lush green. And then our property has these 2 acres, one in the front, one in the back, that are just plain sand, no vegetation. And you just look around at the rest of the properties and you're just like, how is this possible? Why? How? This is not a sandy area.
Like they had to have done something to it, the last owners, right?
Well, that's what I thought. But then I was digging in the ground over in the acre I want to turn into like all of the garden stuff. And I was digging and I was like, wow, it's pretty sandy. But then the sand was only like 3 inches deep over there. And then I hit like hard red clay that was impossible to dig through. So I was just like, what kind of land is this? What topography is this?
What land is this? Oh no.
Oh yeah. So it's been an adventure, but I like feel like so fertile, not in like a personal way, but like I feel so like green thummy, which I usually have a black thumb, so
well,
anyways,
I can't wait to see it.
You'll like it.
I definitely think the sunflowers are gonna come up. I have complete faith in them and you.
Oh, thank you. I was thinking like I've got this big long basket I'm going to use to like harvest stuff in, and I was thinking Kendall would say that this is so cottagecore.
I was just thinking that when you said I have a big basket.
I knew you were gonna. I know, because I was thinking she's gonna come out here one of these days when I'm gonna be like in the garden doing something, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Ash, this is so cottagecore." Like when I made a smoothie bowls or something.
Okay, that was very cottagecore. It was very cute. She made us like these cute smoothie bowls, and then she made like adorable little like mason jar of tea.
Oh, that's
and,
right.
like,
I did that too.
yeah, and she was like, "Good morning," and like this is when I was staying at her house, and I was like, "Oh my God, thanks!" And she was like, "Here, you can take it on the go with you," and like put a little lid on it, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I felt so like taken care of, and like I lived in the wilderness, but in a cute way, you know. It was awesome.
That's hilarious. See, if you were here every day, that could be your life every day.
I know. Kick Hobby out, and I'll be your wife instead. That will work, right?
Excellent, actually. Let's do it. Actually, he just got a call the other day, and they were like, "So you're gonna have to go into this like month-long training." And he was like, "I'm sorry, what?" It's something he's like never heard of. So that's happening. So
Oh no.
yeah. So maybe we should just go ahead and like get married and live together.
So for the month Hobby's gone, we'll just
be married.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He'll understand, I think.
I think so. Although he's a little mad at you right now.
I know. Hobby hates me now. He thought we were besties, and I still thought we were besties. But then Ash texted me the other day and was like, "Hobby's been listening to our Harry Potter episode." And at one point, I guess I said that I didn't always agree with him. And now he's like, "I can't believe she lied to me all this time."
Yes. I was like, yes, because at any point in time, Kendall was like, "Yeah, Hobby, I agree with you 100% on all matters."
Yeah, I don't even think I was pretending that. Like, I thought it was clear that, you know, we're friends, but we don't agree on everything.
That is what I told him. But like, he just called me out of the blue, and I had to like pry out of him why. He was like, "Tell Kendall we're not friends anymore." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Text her right now." And I was like, "Okay, I'm doing it." And then he was like literally like dictating specifically what he wanted me to text you. Something about the Hobby Premium friendship subscription being ended. He told me the other day it's suspended for 2 years, but after that you can reapply.
2 years. That's a long time.
I know. And so he like wouldn't tell me. I was like, "Why? Wait, what? Are you serious? Like, what's going on?" Because I'm like, "I've never heard this. What could he be talking about?" And then he said he finally listened to the podcast, and I was thinking, like, well, which episode? Like, we talk about him a lot.
I know, but I don't feel like we ever say anything mean.
No, we don't. We didn't say anything mean in that episode either. You were just like, yeah, Javi and I are often on the same wavelength, and I like a lot of the jokes Ash doesn't like of his, I like. And then there's something about how he'll pretend to get into arguments with me when you walk in the door, like for the drama of it. And then he'll like look at you, he'll like say something, and then he'll look at you for a reaction. And he apparently this whole time he's been assuming that when he does that, you're on his side somehow. So he's like terribly offended because in that episode you were like, "Yeah, I don't agree with him all the time." And he was like, "Unbelievable. We can't be friends anymore."
I mean, the phrasing of the premium subscription to like Hobby friendship or whatever is really funny. I have to give him that.
Really good. Yeah, it was good. It was hysterical.
Well, you know, say la vie. He's gonna have to learn to live with me because we're waifus. So
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Just how it works. So
yeah,
don't worry, I'll get him back with my winning personality.
You will. I was like, "Bro, you don't understand what you're doing. You're alienating a friend who also likes SpongeBob. I'm not gonna listen to you talk about SpongeBob."
Yeah,
like,
seriously, he needs me.
Yeah. I was like, "I'm not gonna laugh at your gross jokes. Like, I'm not gonna think they're funny."
Yeah, among the three of us, you're the only one who won't tolerate really like raunchy jokes sometimes. So he needs me around.
Yeah, exactly. Or no one would ever laugh at his jokes.
Yeah.
He's going to listen to this episode. Actually, no, I give him a really hard time for not listening to any of our episodes. And I guess he finally did. And he picked the one where I wasn't like, "Oh my God, I have such a crush on my husband." Because I do that a lot. And he picked the episode where we're like, "Yeah, it's funny how he's not always right." And he was like, this is insane. This is, I am so.
It's like, I've never been attacked this way before.
I've never felt so attacked. I feel triggered right now.
He was like, "I am literally dying. I can't believe that they said that about me."
The audacity of these women to understand that I am not always right.
These stupid ass women. What are they talking? Oh,
it was
God.
good. It was good. It was hysterical. But anyways, how has your week been?
My week has been fine. Right now I'm staying at my parents' house because they and my brother are out of town. And so I'm watching the pets. And so far I have thought that there is some secret intruder in the house like 3 times. Yep. And I'm still currently thinking that. Yeah. Because I feel like this is the weird thing. Either there's a secret intruder, it's haunted, or I'm paranoid. And I think the most likely is number 1. But so I've been like I'll walk into a room. I think that I turned the light off, but apparently it's still on. And I'm like, what the heck? Last night, I was positive that I had set the alarm. I came back and it was not set. And I was like, what? And it was freaking me out. And then just now I went upstairs and the TV was on up there, but I swore it wasn't on last night and I haven't touched it at all. So I'm like, what is going on? So if I die, I love you guys. And Ash, I love you. And tell my mom that I blame her for sending me to live in this the spooky house.
In the spooky house where they live all the time with no problems.
Yeah. Just kidding. It's not actually spooky. I like staying here, especially when it's like just me, because I feel like I have a house and it's like my mom is like good at, I don't know, she makes everything feel welcoming to me. So it's very like, oh, I'm living at the house. And yeah, anyway. And then I have the 2 cute pets, but Henry is so old now that he gets confused. And I literally fed him 30 minutes ago. And when I went and sat down at the table, he forgot that I had already fed him and was like, oh, it's dinner time. And he came over and was yelling at me to feed him again. So he just gets a little confused. And now he just will go outside and just bark at nothing. And it's driving our neighbors crazy. So I have to like watch him. So anyway,
we'll see how my mom is going to house sit like next week or something.
Oh yeah.
Because we're house sitting Lily.
Oh, okay. It's like a musical chairs with house. Yeah. Because next week I'll also be gone, and so we're all going to New Mexico. So that's why we're recording 2 episodes today.
Yeah. So if we sound progressively more unhinged in this episode than the next one, that is why.
That is why I have this boxed wine, because after finishing my reread of Johnny Tremaine, I was like, I am gonna have to do this not sober. Like we are getting crazy with this one. So
yeah, I know how you feel about Johnny Tremaine too. So I think I specifically requested a lit Kindle for
you did.
For this.
You did. But I think I have interesting opinions this time. It's been 10 years since I've read it. So now it's going to be wild. But yeah, here it is anyway. But today we are doing The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson.
Yep. Yeah, no, first stop. Sorry, my cat is literally tearing up my husband's chair. Oh, see, I picked up my happy, angry octopus to throw at her, and she was like, whatever. What did I name him? Oh, Bip. That's right. I named him Bip.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, little Bip. Anyways, Bip almost attacked the cat. But yeah, The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. That is what we're doing today. Woo! Great. This is a book rec from, I'm fairly certain, Catherine S., but I'll double check right now. She's one of our Instagram peeps. She sends us all these great book recs, and I was particularly excited about this one when it hit our inbox because I've read this book and at least the second one in the series, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I remember loving it, and then I lost my copy, so I had to get a new copy, and I have no memory if I ever read the last one in the series or not. And it doesn't matter because I'd have to like read the second one again too, because again, no memory of it. Just that I really, really liked it. So I'm excited that we're doing it now.
Oh my God, I'm excited too. I'd never read it before, and I also did not know what it was about. I sometimes will do that, especially if it's a recommendation or something that you've read before. I'll just like pick it up and start reading it. So I started reading it and was like, oh, it's a Jack the Ripper story.
Yes,
and I was like immediately like, oh my God, this is so good. I absolutely loved it. So
it is good. And it was
excited.
Catherine S. So thank you again, Catherine. I feel like we've got a lot of Catherines on this pod.
We do. It's a Catherine heavy pod.
It is a Catherine.
And I feel like they're all K's. Catherine with a K.
They are all Catherines with a K.
In the second Anne of Green Gables miniseries episode, there's a character named Catherine, and Anne goes, "Oh, I'm so glad that you spell it with a K. Catherine with a K is just so much more lovely than Catherine with a C," or something like that.
And
Like
I
she's trying to be
kind of
nice.
agree.
And yeah, and then she changes it to a C because she's mad. Anyway,
That's hilarious.
but yeah, Catherine with a K is very nice. But if your name is Catherine with a C, it's also nice.
It's
I think
also
that,
nice.
you know, that's more easily Kathy or something, you know,
Kathy or
Wuthering Heights
Kat.
vibes. Yeah. So, you know, everyone's winning with Catherine. I think
It's
fine.
true. It's a name I like so much. And it's one of the few names where like I know people with the name, but I'm still like, I would still name my child that name. You know, like usually like with the name, like names you like, you're still like, no, I know people. And so I can't.
Mhm.
I have tried on multiple occasions to convince my husband, like, if we have a daughter, I want to name her Catherine with a K. And he keeps saying no because his cousin is named Catherine. And I'm like, and she's great. You don't like your cousin? Like, why can't we name our daughter Catherine?
It's an homage. Yeah.
Also,
Catherine
doesn't Catherine O'Rourke sound great?
It
Katie?
does.
I just love every single nickname that goes with it. The same like with Elizabeth. I just love all the nicknames that go with.
Catherine has so many nicknames. Kathy, Kate, Katie, Kitty, Cat, you know, wait, I don't know. There's a lot. It's very versatile. And then yeah, Elizabeth also, Lizzie, Liza,
Eliza,
yeah,
Liz,
Beth.
Lizzie.
Yeah, I love that we also can do Beth with that one. That's very
I
interesting.
know, it's good. It drives me bananas. Like Javi doesn't like that one either. He doesn't like, some of my favorite names are Catherine, Elizabeth, Evangeline. I love all these names. Javi hates them. I mean, not on other people, but for our child, for some reason, he hates it. He's like, what about Esperanza? And I'm like, bro, do you know how white we look? Like, no.
We can't do it.
We can't do it. Don't do that to our daughter. Don't do it. So, yeah.
Oh man. I mean, it's a very dramatic name though. I'm trying to think if there are any cute nicknames for Esperanza. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to think of names for you guys and then I'm going to send you a list.
You should watch. You're going to come up with something and that'll be what we actually name our child. Boy names welcome as well. There's only one boy and one girl name we grant. I know I've said that like a bunch of times, but like Javi is so not willing to budge. I'm going to, you know what? You make the suggestion. I'm going to bring it up to him. And then when he says he likes it, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, well, maybe you should reinstate our friendship subscription.
Yes. Okay. This is how I get back in. You're right.
Yeah, this is your in.
You know, as soon as you say it's from me, though, he's gonna be like, never mind, I hate it.
That's true. We were watching Netflix like a little while ago, and Stargate SG-1 came up on my like recommended list, and I love Stargate SG-1. And so he goes, "Oh my God, Stargate SG-1! This is such a good show." And I was like, "Yeah, it's one of my favorites." And he was like, "Oh, never mind," and just kept going. And he does that every time that I like something. He also likes. He's like, "Well, never mind. I can't like it anymore."
Oh
and I'm
my
just
God,
like, dude.
Yes,
it kills me.
It's so pretentious of him. Wow, he's really embodying the pod lifestyle.
He really, yeah. See, we did it as a tongue-in-cheek joke. Javi, it's the side of him that, honest to God, thinks he's a reincarnated king.
It is
that part.
It is the medieval king energy from him. I love that that's the real thing. It truly is. Like that's how everything about Javi, you can be like, oh well, it's the medieval king. Like
yeah, you can be like,
either
well,
Javi or it's
medieval king
Javi. Yeah,
it's one of the. It's really very true. Also, I have 2 red pen points, which we haven't had for a while. If you're new here, those are our red pen points equal our dumbassery is typically what that means if you guys are new here. But one of them is, so our last episode or close to last, was it the last episode, Fallen? Was that the last episode of season 3?
Yes.
Okay. I forgot, I couldn't find who recommended it, but she messaged us. It's Brianna or Brianna. I'm not sure how you say it. I want to say Brianna from Instagram. Thank you, Brianna. I think she sent us some other messages and stuff too. And she's been so fun to talk to. And I'm sorry we didn't credit her on the Fallen episode. I swear I looked and I could not find a message anywhere, but then she messaged us and then I saw it and I was like, how did I lose this? But thank you, Brianna. Yeah, we have her to thank for Fallen, which was really fun. Yeah, it's been actually like, it's gotten like a lot like more downloads and engagement. So I guess it's popular. It's a favorite, which was just a little surprising to me because I was like so on the outskirts of that type of genre.
It's like, yeah, like I guess, you know, like YA novels from like the 2010s or like
yeah,
like the early 2010s. Oh, that's iconic right there. You know,
yeah, it was like
that was a light in a bottle type of situation.
yeah, exactly. And my other pen point is that we keep forgetting to do our what did we learn segment, our what did we learn from the book segment, which is one of my favorites. We just accidentally dropped it, so we gotta try and remember.
I totally forgot about what
bring
did we
that
learn.
back in. Yeah.
Okay, now I would be thinking about what we learned from this one.
I'm just gonna wing it. That's my favorite thing to do when we hit that segment is just go off
We
the
always
top of
go,
my head. What did we learn? Yeah. Anyways, should we get into the book?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh,
Let's
should I talk about Maureen first?
Yes,
oh wait, no,
should.
that's this one. Sorry. Okay. So I'm taking my info from MaureenJohnsonBooks.com, straight from the horse's mouth.
Love it.
But also I had to Google her birthday because I didn't find it. But her birthday is February 16th, 1973.
Oh, so makes her
I believe that's Aquarius.
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know
Anyway.
anything.
Yeah, I think it's Aquarius. Yep. Okay. Anyway.
Heck yeah. Good for you, Maureen.
Yay, Maureen. Yay.
Yay.
So Maureen is very funny. Her website is hilarious. She's very like, I'm sassy, you know, in a fun way.
I love it.
So yeah, she is actually really prolific. She has written so many books.
Really?
Yeah, way more than I thought. And I totally forgot, but the reason why I know her is because she co-wrote some Shadowhunters books with Cassandra Clare. So that's like yeah, so like, you know, some of the newer like offshoot ones, like anyway. So good for her.
Yeah.
So Maureen was born in Philadelphia. She was an only child as a kid, and she decided pretty early that she wanted to be a writer. But she does say on her website that she had a little dalliance with astronomy and also archaeology. So I'm like, okay, queen.
Yes. Yeah, didn't we all?
Says, in parentheses, I had a little shovel. So I love that for her.
That is so cute. God, I love her energy.
Me too. But yeah, so like around 8 or 9, she says she decided she wanted to be a writer. And then she says, I shall be a writer, I said, and I will develop no other skills to ensure I have no backup plan.
Me AF.
I know, right? It's really funny. Me too.
I have one thing.
This is the thing.
I hope it works out because I only developed one.
I'm glad for Maureen that it worked out. Love that we have her energy. Okay, seriously. So she graduated from the University of Delaware. And did you know that the University of Delaware's mascot is the Fighting Blue Hens? I thought she was joking, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay.
Why? Why the decision for a hen at all? And then blue, how did we get to blue?
I don't know. I'm sure it has some kind of, you know, long storied
are these wealthy hens?
Reason,
we're talking about like blue-blooded
hens?
Are these wealthy chickens?
Of, like, socialite chickens. God.
That's even less impressive. I
don't know. I mean, can hens be blue? I guess they can. There are types of chickens that are sort of bluish, right?
Yeah, but the way that they say, oh, it's like a blue Dane, where it's like, yeah, but it's kind of like more like a shade of gray than
right, kind of gray.
Yeah. Like we have our Australorps right now are kind of gray. Okay. I mean, but I guess you could look at them and go, they're blue. I'd be like, no, they're gray. But also I'm a little bit gray-green colorblind, so maybe I'm not the person to
Are you really? I didn't know that.
I've never been tested, but this has been a problem for me for years. In college, it became like a bigger problem because I would get into arguments with people about it. Because I'd be like, hey, can I have that gray blanket? And they're like, that's green. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's gray.
No,
No,
maybe your chickens
apparently
are
it's
green. You never
Oh
know.
my God, I've got green chickens, the fighting green chickens. That would be good. And then I went to a fabric store once and I was trying to buy some like lycra material to make a mermaid tail out of. And there was this one I was like, if this is green, it's perfect for my purposes. But it could be gray because it looks gray to me. And so I couldn't tell. So I literally, and this is like during COVID. So I've got my mask on. There's this other girl over there, and I'm like, excuse me, can you see colors? She was like, yeah. And I was like, could you is this look gray or green to you? And she's like, green. And I was like, thank you so much. And she's like, no problem. My boss asks me these questions all the time. And I was like, who do you work for?
Oh my God. She's like, yeah, I'm used to those colorblind people. Don't worry.
And then Javi is legitimately colorblind. I forget what his spectrum is, but he's like been tested and stuff, and he's legitimately colorblind.
Well, it's a lot more common in men. Isn't that weird?
Exactly. It is weird. It is.
I don't get why that is the case, but
he wanted to be like a combat diver or something. I'm probably forgetting what it is, and basically because he was a certain spectrum of colorblind, he couldn't. So, it's very rare that happens though, where he's like, oh, can you hand me that thing that's that color? And I'm like, the what? That's what color? Just every now and then I'm like, no, you're super wrong. Mine is pretty much just gray and green, like certain shades of gray and green.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's not too bad. As far as like visual impairments go, I'm sure. Oh my God. Have you seen those videos where it's like people who are colorblind getting the colorblind glasses and then they get to like, those make me cry every time.
Aww.
Because it's like so cute. They're like put the glasses on and then like, I guess because a lot of them are people who I guess can't see a lot of colors or something, like kind of maybe everything's more gray or something. I don't know how it works really, because these people are so excited and they always cry, and it makes me cry because I'll put it on and they'll just be like looking around like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they're like looking at trees like, it's green, like they know what color it is, and it's so sweet. I'll send you a video.
So funny. You should. You're a sympathetic crier. I'm a sympathetic embarrassed, ashamed person.
Yeah, you are. If I see somebody I'm embarrassed, like I hardly ever get secondhand embarrassment at all, and I thank God every day for that because I can enjoy so many more films.
I so wish. Wait, anyways, what were we talking about? Maureen Johnson.
We were talking about Maureen.
The skippers are like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, I thought he skipped this.
Yeah. Sorry.
So anyway, she went to Fighting Blue Hens. That's where that came from.
Guys, we were kind of on topic.
It was about colors. So.
It was about colors. So the fighting blue, green, gray hens. Gotcha.
And so she was a writing major, just like me. And then but she's more successful.
It's always the case.
And I'm sure way more talented. So she, I don't know why I said I'm sure. I know she is. Anyway,
more prolific for sure. I mean, I don't know if you can gauge the talent, but prolific apparently.
No, I think we can safely say. So anyway, she was a writing major, and then she started working on like theater shows and stuff. She like wrote for theater companies, which is pretty cool.
That's cool, yeah.
And so then she ended up moving to New York, and she studied like theater stuff and also writing at Columbia as a graduate student. And so so then she had like a bunch of weird jobs, she says, which is fun. And so now she writes books and is very successful. So good for her.
Good for you.
She has written, let me just like list some of them. I think the most recent one here is called Your Guide to Not Getting Murdered in a Quaint English Village. Which sounds amazing.
That sounds fabulous. I'm sorry, I have to read that.
I want to read it so bad.
I really need to get into more of her books because I love her tone. Like I love the sarcasm, like the dry. She's so funny.
Yes, she's hilarious. So in this series, The Name of the Star is the first one in the Shades of London series. And then we have The Madness Underneath.
Yep.
And then The Shadow Cabinet. And then there's also another one that's like, I guess not maybe in the same series, but it's like a spinoff maybe called The Boy in the Smoke.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Pretty fun.
That's super cool.
I'm excited. So she has like a couple of series here, and then she did the Shadowhunter stuff, and then she does a lot of like stuff with like other writers.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for her.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for her. I'm forgetting the names of every single character in this book at the moment, even though I'm supposed to give the summary. So that's what I'm currently Googling.
Sparks notes sting. What?
Sparks
Notes
notes.
sting. Sparks note. What? Sparks notes. Yeah. Notes sting. The Name of the Star real quick. No big deal.
I am. No biggie. I am though. My memory is so bad. It's not even a joke, you guys. Like I mean, I make jokes, but it's not a joke. Because I read this and I read it all at once and I was so proud of myself. I read it all on Monday, I think. Like in book form, where I absorbed it better so you'd think it would have stuck and it didn't. But anyway, should we get into the summary, or I'll do my best at the summary?
I remember people's names, I think so.
Okay,
I'll help you out
because I'm not good at that. So we start out, we've got this character, her name is Aurora DeVoe, right? Aurora's her name, but she goes by Rory.
Aurora DeVoe. So good. I love that name.
It's good. The names are good. She's from Louisiana, and she basically, I think her parents are both professors, right? And I think they're
lawyers.
Or they're, oh yeah, you're right. They're lawyers. They're both lawyers, and they basically get the opportunity to go to, where is it? It starts with a B. It's
Bristol.
Bristol. Yeah, to Bristol in England. And basically this is like for her, is it her last year of high school?
Yeah, she's going to be a senior, I think.
Yeah, she's going to be a senior. And so they basically said you can pick wherever you want to go for your last year. And so she found this like boarding school in London, and what's it called? Wexford boarding school. So it's pretty fun. I enjoy the boarding school setting. I don't think I've ever not liked the boarding school setting.
Oh, it's just a classic, it's classic, I love it.
Yeah. She gets there, she immediately begins to embarrass herself. She makes lots of jokes about being the American, which was just like, yeah, that is about how it feels all the time.
I feel she owned it,
She did own it. I feel that way in America, being from Texas, when I go other places in the country.
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, and then I'll do something embarrassing or something that people look at me different, and I'm like, it's the Texas, isn't it? Is it showing? Is my Texas showing? I'm sorry. Let me put that back away.
Oh God, they're all looking at me. It's so embarrassing. But I thought that Rory was so fun because she has like, kind of New Orleans has such a unique culture. So she kind of already came with her own cool, like, cultural vibe.
Yeah. And then her town that she came from specifically, the way she describes it is hysterical. It's like a little swamp town.
I know. I was cracking up.
It is so good. It's good. And she's pretty smart. I mean, like, she had to like take tests and stuff to get into the school, but it's just funny because she's smart, but she is not pretentious in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all.
She's got a roommate when she gets there. Her name is Julianne, but she goes by Jazza, which is cute. And
I love Jazza.
I know, it's good. She is just such a good person.
Like, she is a sweetheart. I loved her.
She's from Cornwall, I think. Is that correct? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Cornwall. Which is cool. I've always wanted to go there. So she's just like as sweet as a peach, nice person. What's her name? The bitch?
Charlotte.
Listen, I'm sorry if I offended y'all's delicate ears, but Charlotte is a bitch. And
Charlotte does that thing where like she pretends like she's being really nice to you, but she's actually judging you and like being mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's worse. I would rather someone just be mean. I hate when they do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like she pretends like she's nice because she's also a head girl.
Yeah, and she's head girl. Yeah. So she's head girl, which makes it worse. And she's like kind of pseudo friends with Jazza, but like not really, because she's so competitive and prissy, and she wants to go where is it? She's obsessed with going to college somewhere.
She's going to Cambridge, I think.
Cambridge, yeah. And she's so uppity and mean and kind of devious, and she's so two-faced. And so anyway,
we don't really like Charlotte, but
we don't really like Charlotte. Nobody really likes Charlotte. But Jazza is so nice. She tries not to say anything mean about her.
Yeah, Jazza is nice.
Yeah.
And then who else? Oh, Jerome.
Oh yeah, Jerome. That's the cute boy.
Yeah, the cute boy.
Jerome he's another one of the friend group. He's also a prefect. And he's like one of the only people besides Jazza who's like chill with Rory and like is kind of like nice to her from the beginning. So
yeah,
that's
I think he thought she was cute. So
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. He thought she was cute. And they have like it felt like a very stereotypical like flirtationship.
Yeah.
Like kind of right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But see, here's where what happened. Since we just came from Fallen, I was immediately like, I'm suspicious of you. I was like, what are you doing flirting with her? I was like, God, he's gonna be a fallen angel. No, I didn't actually do that, but
I didn't remember the book very well, but I remember thinking like, I don't think he's the one, but I don't remember well enough. But I thought
like he literally might have been Jack the Ripper. Like I seriously was like, he's doing it. I was suspicious of him.
I was like, wait a minute, does Jazza get murdered?
I know, it was so
that's what I thought. My brain, even though I'd read it, that is what I thought because I somehow misremembered it like really badly. Anyway, she's kind of settling into school. Then at dinner one night, she jokes on a piece of food. She's telling an obnoxious story that she thinks is like one of her best stories. So it's even worse because then she like chokes, I forget, like on a meatball or something. And
yeah, I think it was definitely meat because they make a point of her always eating sausage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just funny.
Everyone's like, what? No meat today, Rory? And she's like, listen, guys, I don't have to have it. But she kind of does. But anyways, she chokes so badly that she loses consciousness and she sees like a white light and then she's saved and she's fine. She lives on. But yeah, so that happens. And then after that, things start getting a little bit weird. Oh, I should also say that there's like a little bit of a prologue like before Rory gets to, or at least before we see Rory arriving in London at her new school, which is basically these new stories that there's like a new Jack the Ripper on the town. Like there's some copycat killer that's like mimicking Jack the Ripper's murders, like same places, same age, same like victim information, all that stuff. So that stuff's all going on and it's still going on. And there's like, like active like news, like press people, like there's like little like cutaways to what's going on in the press, like throughout the whole book.
Right.
Let's see. One of the murders happens like at this pub, like kind of down the block. And so Jerome, because he wants to be a journalist, he convinces her and Jazza to go check it out. And when she's there, this is like I said, this is when things get weird. Rory gets like kind of a weird feeling and she bumps into this like bald dude. And she's like, oh, sorry, man. And he looks at her like, wait, like, you can see me? Like he seemed like surprised by it and like but then like creepily pleased by it. And then well, that's that for a while. They go back, nothing happens. And then I think someone else is killed or they're expecting another person to be murdered because of the dates, because like this killer is killing on the same dates that Jack the Ripper killed. And so Jerome is like, they basically try and lock all the kids down in the school. And Jerome is like, hey, what if you and Jazza like snuck out, crossed this little square between our dormitories and come snuck up on the roof with me? Because don't you want to be able to say like you were somewhere cool when this person was murdered? And
yeah.
I was like, Jerome,
what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
like,
Jerome has like a future in the tabloids, I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. I don't know. That was the part where the whole thing felt, and then I feel bad because like I listen to true crime podcasts and stuff all the time, but I don't feel like I'm a person who's like, it was grossing me out how these people were so excited about the murders. Like everybody was like, oh, the next murder's coming. And I'm like, somebody's going to die. I don't know. It was awful. Freaky to me. I was like, this is gross.
Yeah. I mean, with true crime, I think the fascination is like, part of it is you almost feel a little like more freedom to like be interested in like the facts and the circumstances because it's already happened and you can't change it. Like it's still a tragedy and it's awful. but you can't change it. And so it doesn't feel as like grotesque to like be listening to it with like fascination. I don't think any of us are like, oh my gosh, hooray, somebody died. I love hearing about gruesome details.
I like the stories where it's like, oh, this is how they caught the killer. Like, I like it when they catch the guy or whatever.
Yeah. I've started listening to Anatomy of Murder, which is another podcast, because they basically talk about like the crime solving process of the murders, because that's the part that I'm interested in.
That's the best part.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that that's more what the fascination is. But Jerome kind of just seems, and everyone seems to be just enjoying like how sensational this whole all these events are. So her and Jazz sneak out through like a downstairs bathroom window that Charlotte is the one who opened it like the last year. She's the worst. She's so duplicitous. And then they go hang out with Jerome on the roof. I don't think her and Jerome kiss yet, but I kind of thought like they're gonna make out, aren't they? And then they didn't. Jazza wants to go home. It's like 2 a.m. So they go back down, they cross the square. And as she's just boosted Jazza back into the window, and she's about to like get back in too. And the same guy, but she doesn't recognize him, but we all recognize him like from outside the pub or whatever. He's there and he's like, should you guys be out? Should you guys be doing that? And they're like, oh yeah, it's okay. We go to school here. I mean, well, Rory does, because Jazza doesn't see anyone. Mm-hmm. And so Jazza's like, well, I was just really focused on getting back inside. So maybe that's why. And so they think everything's fine, except then they wake up the next day and there's like a big like white tent, and there's an active crime scene in the square between the dormitories. And the police are there, and they're like, if anyone saw anything, like, please come forward and talk to us. You won't be punished even if you broke curfew, because another woman was murdered. The murder for that night happened like within their school grounds.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like minutes after she saw the weird bald man. So that's interesting. That's all going on. Also, I forgot to say that there's a boy named Alistair who's always hanging out in the dark in the library.
Yes.
He's kind of like punk, like 80s kind of like, and he's got kind of an attitude, but he's like has read every book. So like she'll go up there, or he'll go up there and like when she's doing research for a paper or something, and he'll be like, yeah, check out this book by this person. Mm-hmm. And he's funny.
I love
no
Alistair.
One else really talks to him. Yeah, I like him too. So let me see. So that happens. Rory decides she wants to tell the police what she saw. So she goes down there, she like does the little interview. Jazz is like, yeah, I didn't see anyone, but there could have been someone there. And then there's like this weirdly young cop who comes up to her, and he's like, hey, if you think of anything else, here's my card, call me. And she's like, is there any way that this handsome young man is a cop?
She's like, this seems weird, but okay.
It's weird, yeah. And Jess is like, I think you should go report him. And Rory's like, no, I don't think I will. I think I'm just gonna roll with this. And I was like, yeah, handsome young cop, roll with that for sure. I'd be the first person murdered in this book. I'm like, what if we're not suspicious and every attractive person is telling the truth?
Oh, they're hot. They must be right.
They're hot. They must be telling the truth. Actually, that's not me at all. But for some reason, I think because I'm so the opposite of that in real life, that when I read books, I'm like, wouldn't it be great if we could just pretend that life were that way? That people were on the inside like they look on the outside? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Yeah. But okay, so anyway, she tells people like about what she saw. Then they get a new roommate. Basically, like the headmistress or whatever is like, she's not gonna like out and out punish them, but she's kind of punishing them by assigning them this new roommate named Buvana. Is that her name? Buvana? She goes by Boo.
Yes.
Boo I love something. That. She is such a character.
Boo cracks me up. I loved her immediately. I know that she was kind of like supposed to be annoying at first, but I honestly loved her from the start. I was like, this girl's hilarious.
She's hilarious. She's so vibrant and full of energy and wears tight clothes. And like, she's just like, she's crazy. And Jazza does not like her because she's like, when does she even study? And at first Rory's like, whatever, Jazza, because Jazza's pretty straight-laced and she's very like quiet and in her own space. And Boo is like in everybody's space and loud and not like super responsible. And so at first Rory's like, whatever. And then she's like, maybe Jazz is just kind of jealous that I'm kind of being friends with Boo. Although Rory is extremely annoyed by her for like weeks of them being like roommates.
Yeah, because she kind of like messes with the vibe. Like Jazza and Rory had like a cute, like, we're drinking tea and reading Jane Austen novels vibe going on. And then Jazz is like, so anyway, I was on the phone with my boyfriend, like on her two phones. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, because Boo has two phones. So yeah, she definitely disrupts things. And Rory finally kind of starts like seeing like the good in Boo, and Jazz is still not really enjoying her particularly. But where am I going with this?
I don't know. Well, there's the part with at the museum. Is that where you're going?
Oh yeah, sure, we can do that. So her and Jerome at this point have they've made out a few times. They're kissing buds. They have they're kissing buds. Well, they're not really in a relationship. They're both like very intentionally not. They're not even not labeling it. They're like a step removed from even that. Like they're just like sometimes
they're like,
yes.
You want to make out again?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But they go to this museum and they have to do like this like kind of like they're supposed to like walk around and like notice like different like themes and artwork, and they pick like butts or something. And it is this hysterical like little montage of scenes where they're just like riffing on all the different types of like naked butts and like these classic paintings.
That was really excellent.
Cute. And then they're in another room and there's this woman standing there in it's like a red suit dress thing or something, I think. And then Jerome basically like compliments her butt, not the woman's, but Rory's butt. And Rory's like, wait, who are you talking about? Are you talking about her or me? And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, we're the only people in here. And she's like, what? And then the woman had walked out. But then she's like, there's no way that Jerome wouldn't have seen her. So all of this stuff is it's really fun.
Yes.
It's good. She's like, am I crazy? And I'm like, maybe. I like it for you.
Just work with it,
Just work with it. You never know. So I'm trying to think, how do we get to the point where she's following Boo and she sees her talking?
I think that Boo's just like weirdly like on the phone or something, and I don't remember why she decides to follow her, but she follows her out of the museum. I think Boo's like acting really serious about something. She's like wondering what it is.
Yeah, so she follows Boo out of the museum, and she like follows her kind of this like park, and like the young cop is there, and she's like, what is going on? And there's this woman there and kind of like what looks like World War I or World War II uniform?
I think two.
World War II uniform. And yeah, I think you're right. And she's like picking up trash and stuff, and then they're all talking, and then somebody walks through the woman. and she basically like, Rory's like, oh my god, I am losing my mind. And she like stumbles across the street and she's like, wait, you what? Someone? And then she like just loses it. And they're like, I think maybe we need to tell her the truth. What's going on? That's good. So they take her to like this like flat or something, and that's where she meets Callum, right? And what's the cop's name again? Steven. That's what I thought. Okay. So Steven's kind of like the de facto leader of the bunch. We like him a lot. Callum is kind of an a-hole, but like a lovable one.
He's kind of goofy.
He's a little goofy. He kind of has an attitude, like he's kind of grouchy, but he's not mean.
No. I actually really like Callum.
You like Callum?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't dislike him at all, but he's kind of grouchy, and he like kind of like he didn't want to tell Rory anything to begin with. Like he's always not quite as on board as everyone else. Like he's not as much of a team player. Boo's a team player. Sure. Steven is the leader and can be a team player. Rory can be a team player. Callum is grudgingly a team player.
Well, I think that, so anyway, it makes sense with his character though once you find out more about him.
Oh yeah, no, it does. And he's great. There's definitely like no bad feelings towards Callum. But they're basically like, so here's the deal. We're part of this secret organization of people who can see ghosts. Yeah. And I was like, I love it so much. Oh my God, tell me more. And he's like, basically, what happens is my dog is barking. Probably because my husband hasn't fed them yet, like I asked him. So you hear that, Javi? You hear that?
We're talking bad about you again.
fun. Yeah, I'm reminding our listeners that sometimes you forget to feed the dogs on time. Whoa. Maybe we can't be friends anymore.
You're about to get demoted too.
About to get demoted. Whoops. Anyways, so Secret Society of Ghost Hunters. This is awesome. Basically, some people, not everyone, but some people who have basically been on the brink of death, when they come back from it, they are able to see dead people. And not all people who die stick around as ghosts, just some of them. And so basically this society has existed kind of on and off for a while. It's this like really like shady branch of the government. Like even like a lot of other government officials don't really know who they are, but they'll just get a call from high up one day and be like, cooperate with these kids, because they're all like 20.
Yeah.
Like they're all very young. And Boo is one of them, obviously, if I didn't already say that. Like she's undercover at Rory's school. So she's kind of like being a bodyguard for Rory, because this guy, the weird bald guy, who obviously he's a ghost and he's scary, and they think that he's committing the murders. They're like, yeah, so he's like got a thing for you, but not like a thing. He's got like a he wants to like murder you thing, possibly. So we're gonna try and protect you. So they give her like that whole story, and I was like, this is so interesting. I love Secret Society. And then they're like, now go back to your school and live your life like a normal teenager.
She's like, well, I'm seeing ghosts, so I'm thinking not. I'm not going to do that, but she does.
Yeah. And Boo can see Alistair too, so she like trades Alistair like music for I forget, like I think homework. Yeah, she starts trading for homework. Yeah, because Alistair's a ghost, and he loves to listen to music. So
yeah, that was cute.
It was cute. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. They try and make her leave school. She refuses. Like her parents try and make her leave. She doesn't want to. God, what happens after she finds out? There's a Halloween party.
But yes, the party. The Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, yeah. I don't know if it's actually Halloween, but it's kind of like Halloween, and they call it fancy dress, which is costumes. And so her and Jazza and Boo dress up like zombie versions of the Spice Girls, and it was pretty good. And adorable. Then they're like, then they go to this like dance, and they're all just dancing, having a good time. And then right behind Jazza, like the guy shows up, the bald ghost guy who's all scary and creepy, and he's like, if you don't want anyone to get hurt, you're gonna meet me outside. And she's like, oh shit, what do I do? And so she does, and she goes and meets him outside, and he's like, great, I just wanted to talk to you. And we don't really get a lot of information here, because basically Boo walks out of the dance because she saw her leave, and Boo can also see this guy because she also sees ghosts. And so she's talking on the phone, or she's acting like she's talking on the phone and acting like she can't see him. But then when she gets close to Rory, she takes her other phone, because remember she has two. She holds down the buttons and acts like, and like holds the phone out in kind of a weird way. And then Ghost Guy grabs her and throws her in front of a car, like on the street. So she gets hit by a car.
That was so stressful.
So stressful. The guy is real scary and creepy. I don't remember what he says. It's just like, oh my God, he means business, and this is awful. And Rory goes and like tries to talk to Boo to like try and like help her. And then Steven shows up, and he's like, there's nothing else you can do for her. The ambulance is on the way. We have to go. And so Steven like drives her off or whatever. We get some Rory and Steven time. I think they're obviously going to end up as a couple. That's what I
think they are like. Too. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. But I like that it's so far been a slow burn. Like it's
same. I agree, because we've got like paparazzi Jerome still, who she likes to make out with. He has such paparazzi energy.
He does. Like there's nothing wrong with him. He's a nice guy. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, but can you see ghosts?
Yeah.
Are you a hot, like young secret cop man? No, you're not.
No, you're not. So
you're a senior in high school.
Compete with Steven. Yeah, you're just a senior in high school. Yeah, it's true.
Steven also has a grumpy energy though, which I think I'm attracted to in both of them. Like in both elements. Like I just love grumps. I think the grumpy people are so funny. Like
I know,
Steven's
I married
like,
one.
well, yeah. Steven's like, yeah, just get in the car. There's nothing we can do. That kind of thing. He's very serious.
Steven is very all business. Like he is not going to joke around about anything. At least Callum will like crack some jokes. Steven is like, yes, very funny. Moving on.
Mhm.
Like, with absolutely like, no, he's not here to have a good time. He's here to get work done.
Mr. Businessman.
Yeah, Mr. Businessman. So I'm trying to think what happens. Boo's in the
Well,
hospital.
she like basically is hanging out with Steven, and then like they go to the flat again, and I don't know.
Yeah, they talk more about secret ghosty society stuff. And then what basically happens is I forget if it's right before or after this like really popular like television anchor or like news host or something gets this like,
Oh yeah.
it's like a box that gets like a box with like a half of a human, is it kidney or liver, half of a human kidney in it, which is apparently something that Jack the Ripper did. And
yeah,
so
it's disgusting.
And so he reads like the letter off, but then he gets cut off before the last line because the producers are like, oh my God, you can't read this on air. Like the police need to see this. Like you can't do that. That guy's a human garbage, by the way. Like,
yeah, he's a dick.
He's a dick. Yeah. Anyway, so basically it's a while before we get to figure out what the last line is, but then right around the time when we pick up again after Boo's in the hospital and she's been hit by the car and they're like, we have to defeat this guy. Basically, Steven explains like the cell phone that Boo has is called a terminus, and they each have a terminus, and there's only 3 of them, and they all have names, which is cool. And they basically, it's a device that they've hidden inside of an old cell phone so that it looks inconspicuous, but it's not obviously really a cell phone. And if you hold down 2 of the buttons on it and you like hold it like close to a ghost, the ghost will basically just like burst into light and disappear and move on. And she's like, well, what happens to the ghosts? And they're like, hell if we know, but they're not here anymore.
I know, it's a little spooky.
It is spooky, but I'm like, let's do that to Baldy Man. Let's do it because he needs to go.
Yes.
So then they're basically like, so the last line, they're just telling her like how like the last line of that letter that didn't get read on air, I forget if that one's either the name of the star line, which we get a couple times, name of the book, name of the star, because the star was apparently the original newspaper that the Jack the Ripper stories were written in. There's also one about basically like, I want your eyes, come to me, or something like that. I forget. Or the one who has eyes to see, come over here, or something.
Yeah, I don't know, there's like gross, weird cryptic messages.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird cryptic messages in here.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like after this is just like everything heats up really fast because Boo comes back from the hospital and she's like in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And
yep.
Then they're like, okay, yeah, because then that's when Rory gets the God, I think something's wrong with my sound. Sorry. Rory gets the letter. No, she gets a text.
That's right.
During the the new Ripper murder night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she starts getting a bunch of text messages from different numbers that basically say, come find me, like meet me at this place, come alone, or whatever. If you don't come to me, I'm going to keep killing and killing and killing until you do, or until I get to you. And so it's basically saying, if you don't come to me, I'm just going to keep killing innocent people until I get you. Mm-hmm. So she's like, well, can't have that. I should go. And Steven and Boo and them are like, no, don't do that. And she's like, well, I want to. And so Boo she stays at the at the school with her terminus, and then Steven and Callum go with her to this like kind of like an underground like it's off like their, what do you call it, not the subway, what do they call it?
Yeah, the tube.
Yeah, but kind of like a subway.
Right, because they had already found out that the guy who Rory kept seeing was this old cop from like the 90s.
So somewhere in there, between Boo getting hit by a car and them going to meet Mr. Creepy Bald Man, they've basically figured out, because I forget, they're doing research and they see a picture of the guy like in this old police photo, and she's like, oh my God, that's the man I keep seeing, that's the bald guy. And it turns out he was this like police officer, and he was involved in this like weird situation where like, what is it, like 4 or 5 people, I forget, were all murdered in this kind of like little like hidden back room off the tube or something. And like the police went down there and they found all these people like shot and murdered, and they found him, the bald policeman or whatever, he was dead too, and it looked like he'd killed himself. And so they're like, they assume that he's just snapped and killed all of those people and then himself. And then Steven is like, oh my God, wait a minute. Like, I'm sorry, like secret group of like these people, him, his like, he knows everything about us and our society. And apparently the bald guy had the sight. He too could see ghosts before he died. And so they're like, oh my God, it was us. He's the reason that we are like the new original group of ghost hunters, because he murdered all of the last ones.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
It was so crazy.
Yeah. And he's basically just doing these Jack the Ripper murders to get attention. Like, he's just enjoying the power of her. He's also a psycho. Like, he really is crazy.
Yeah. And he wants all the terminuses.
Yeah. He wants all the terminuses. So he was also trying to draw them out. Him. Yeah, because he's like, I just want to, at first he's like, I just want to be left alone. I just want to know that nothing can hurt me. Can't you understand why I would want that? And then he's like, actually, I think I'm going to keep killing people though anyways, because it's fun. And he's just the worst. It's like, got to finish what I started. And I'm like, you crazy person.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's the worst.
Disgusting. Guys, don't ever be a serial killer. Everyone will hate you and I will hate you because that's disgusting.
Yeah, we will not be friends with you anymore.
Yeah, you are not in the club anymore.
You are kicked out of the club. No serial killers are allowed in this club. No serial killers allowed for real, guys. We're not joking around. Yeah, this is there's no wiggle room on this rule. Okay. This is one and done. Okay, there's no second chances on this one. Cannot reapply. Subscription is canceled. Yeah, do not even think about it. You're done. You're done. Get out. Anyway, so they go down there to confront the bald guy, and it's in like the room where he killed, I forget what his name is, some officer. He killed all of, is it Alexander or something? Yeah, something like that. We're just gonna call him Alexander because that reminds me of what it is. I don't care. So they go sure, that can be his name. Actually, I'm just gonna keep calling him the bald man because that's okay. Let's call him Baldy. Baldy. Yeah, so they go down to confront Baldy, and he's like, "Just give me the terminuses, and this can all be over. I need all three of them." And they're like, "No, we need these things to protect people. We are not going to give them to you, you psycho." And then basically he flips off the lights and he injects Steven with what is it, insulin or something? Yeah. It's bad. And then he's like, "You want the antidote? You want to save Steven? Well, then give me your terminus." And so they do. Rory and Callum do end up giving Baldy their terminuses. And he's like, "Well, where's the third one?" And they're like, "Not here, bro." And he's like, "The deal was for the third one." And then Rory's finally like, "I don't want Steven to die. So, okay, I will take you to it. It's at the school." And so he gives them the antidote for Steven or whatever. And then her and Rory, he was at gunpoint or knife point. He has a knife on her. That's right. He's got a knife on her. Oh, and he like they go like back digging in there. Yeah, and it's scary because no one can see this but her. Yes. I'm like, no one's seen a floating knife. I forget they addressed that somehow. I just don't remember. She just says like everyone's kind of busy that night and like not paying. They're kind of sticking to the shadows anyway. So she's like, if anyone saw, they'd probably just think it was like a weird reflection or something. Or yeah, it's true. Like, this is the night where they're expecting another murder, isn't it? Yeah. So everyone's also like kind of paranoid. Probably not going to trust anything that they see, even though everyone's looking for stuff. So they get there. Buvana is like, "Oh my God," because she can see him. And obviously Baldy knows. And then Charlotte's there too. And she's like, "Is everything okay? Like, what's going on? You guys are acting kind of weird." And the Baldy is all like, "Give me your terminus." And Boo is like, "Nah, bitch." And then Charlotte, like, she drops her phone or knocks the phone out of her hand or something. And then Charlotte tries to like bend down to pick it up. And then Baldy hits her over the head with a lamp like multiple times. That was honestly bad. Like, I didn't really like Charlotte, really but she didn't deserve that. No, she didn't. I remember I was horrified too. I was like, "No, oh my God, wait, Charlotte, no, like I don't like you, but I don't want you to like suffer brain damage." I know, it was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal, yeah. So she's unconscious now. And he gets the terminus. So on the way over to the school too, Baldy had thrown the other two, the diamonds, because apparently the terminus they're powered by these very specific types of diamonds. And so he threw the diamonds into the Thames. Honestly, like
That was so funny to me when she opened it. She was like, they're powered by diamonds. Because I was like, I am also laughing at this, Rory. This is funny. Like, but honestly, Maureen could have told me anything. Like, I don't really care what the powers of Terminus is.
I was enjoying it. I was like no part of me was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I was like, yeah, duh, diamonds can power ghost evaporating.
Obviously, diamonds obliterate ghosts.
Obviously, I don't even have to question it. Obviously, Maureen is correct about this. No doubts at all. So now when I think about diamonds, I'm like, I wonder. Anyway, so the other two are already gone. Yeah. And then he gets Vu's Terminus as well. And he's like, great, excellent. I'm good to go, except I'm just not quite done killing yet. And he's basically like, so Rory, you can let me go ahead and kill you, or I'm going to go off and kill someone else. And there's nothing you guys can do about it anymore because I have all the Terminus and I already threw 2 of them in the river. So, and she's like, oh, okay, well, it's just awful. Rory's like, I guess I'll let him kill me. Like,
I know. Rory.
It's really rough. Rory is so brave. She like goes to the bathroom, like leads him to the bathroom, and he like slashes her open. And this is all so fast. And I'm like, I kept thinking, oh my God, Steven's gonna be there. Like someone's gonna stop this. No. And then he's like, but you know what? I like you. And I'm kind of curious to see, because he was like obsessed. He used to be a psychologist, I think, before he worked with the police or something.
He was a wacko. Yeah, he was doing weird experiments on people.
Yeah, he was doing experiments on people, basically to see if like he could give them the sight or what would happen. And basically when he killed himself, he was holding the Terminus because he wanted to see what would happen. And so he basically intentionally made himself come back as a ghost. And so he basically is like, well, Rory, since you were so nice to cooperate with me, I'm going to give you the chance to do that. And so he like hands her the Terminus or whatever. And so she's holding the Terminus and she's bleeding out because she's going to die. And then who shows up?
Joe.
Oh, that's right. Okay, because I forgot to say the name. Yeah, so Boo's ghost friend is named Joe, and she's the World War II. Was she a fighter pilot or something? It was cool.
She was, I think she decoded
lieutenant in the Air
something.
Force. Yeah.
She did something like cool.
She did something awesome. And so she basically is like, I'm, Josephine, whatever, from this regiment and blah, blah, blah. And then she picks up the Terminus and she holds it and Baldy disappear. And so it's so sad because Joe's wonderful. And she's also Boo's best friend. So that's really difficult and very sad.
I was sad.
Yeah. But hooray, Rory doesn't die. That's cool. They save her. Her parents are like, you definitely can't go to school here anymore. She's like in the hospital recovering, and everyone comes to see her and they're like, oh my God, we miss you, feel better. And then they're basically like, you are definitely a part of the society now. And it's like, yeah, secret ghosty society. Jerome was like, so I guess you're going back to America now. And then, or I guess that, but like in a British accent. And she's like, actually,
so no. I guess you're going back to America now.
Yeah, there we go.
I can't even do it.
There we go.
I guess you're going back to. I can't even do it. I'm getting a little crazy.
I can't do it either. Good, so perfect. You're getting like warmed up for Johnny Germain.
Oh God! Then I'm gonna do more British accents. You know it.
Hell yes, I'm okay with it. I have no problem with it. Anyways, so no, she's just gonna go stay with her parents in Bristol, and I read The Madness Underneath, and I wish I had any memory of it because I'm like, didn't that also happen in London? Because the series is called Shades of London. I think she ends up back in London, but I can't for sure.
Jerome did say that it's like just like an hour train ride or something. So
yeah, it's like just a train ride away. It's not like super far away. It's always wild to me when I think about like when someone says something's far away in Europe.
I'm like, oh, honey, it's not though. It's not.
It's not.
It's fine.
No.
But
you
it's
can
not far.
drive for 3 days and still be in Texas.
Like
that's one state.
My dearest, it's not far. Did I ever tell you about that guy we met in Ireland who was like shocked that we drove from Galway to Dublin in one day or something? And it's literally like 4 hours.
Yeah,
and
it's
he
like
was
4 hours.
He was like, I just don't understand. Like, you're going all the way there. And we were like, yeah, what's the big deal? He's like, tomorrow morning you're going all the way back to Dublin. And we were like, yes.
Yes. Like
It was
3 or 4
hilarious.
hours.
We were like, sir, if we drive 4 hours, that's just us going to the beach, and that's not a big deal. And he was like, I don't understand.
It's so good. Yeah, we came across some of the same stuff too. It's so funny. There's some things I really like about Europe. That's one of them. I'm like, that'd be nice. It's not like that here. That's why I think that's also why our states feel like each of them has such a specific identity, especially Texas, because like we are like our own country.
It takes forever to leave, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, so she's in Bristol with her parents. The Terminuses are all gone, but apparently so is Baldy and Joe. But basically the house that she's staying in with her parents, she sees a ghost when she's in there, and she's like, oh, hey. And the ghost looks kind of scared, and she remembers like that Boo would be like, just be comforting if you find them when they're scared. Like, this Boo's really like, she really cares about the ghosts and stuff too. And so Rory tries to reach out to this ghost woman and comfort her, but then there's a blinding white light and the ghost evaporates. As if Rory was a Terminus. And she is.
Bro, that was so sick. Like, I am so excited. Now they don't need a Terminus. They have Rory.
Exactly. Because I remember thinking, because I forgot this entire book, I was like, how are they going to keep like ghost hunting? Like, what are they going to do? You would think that I wouldn't have forgotten like the biggest like twist in the whole book, but I did. I forgot.
It's fine. It was at the very end.
Yeah, but it's good.
So yeah, that's
the name of the star. Yeah. Hooray.
Personally, I loved it. I was living.
Too.
I was so excited. Everything about it was great. Like, the characters were fun. The idea is great. I love ghost hunting teens. Like, what the heck? That's the best idea ever. We're in London. It's very fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
There's Jack the Ripper. I mean, he's not fun, but like,
he's not
kind of fun.
But yeah, it's fascinating. It's more like fascinating. Yeah. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, I think, was I have two sort of. I liked that whole kind of montage-y time, like before everything went down, but like when they were still locked down because of the murders. So it was just like Jazza and Rory kind of like hanging out. Everyone's like kind of just like, it felt very cozy to me because everyone had to stay at school all the time, so they were just like doing fun stuff at school, and I was like, oh, I love this for you, Rory. But then my real favorite part was kind of just like when she finally like figured stuff out, and like Boo was like, okay, let's take you and like explain things to you. I was like, yes, I love getting stuff explained to me. So that's fun.
I love getting stuff explained to me, which is the exact opposite of our northern last episode. We were like, we just love to be ignorant. We just love to not know anything.
Listen, guys, if you're listening to this, you should know you can't listen to anything we say. We don't even know what we're talking about.
We have no idea what we're talking about. But that's not why you're here. If you're still here, those of you who are still here,
it's fine.
These tiny percentage who have not switched podcasts yet. Thanks guys for being here. Thanks, Mom. We haven't had a good hey mom joke in a while, but thanks, Mom, for listening to the pod.
All right, Mom.
Woohoo. But anyways, I think my favorite part was when they were figuring out like that Baldy was a cop, because it had this like, because I've been watching Castle a lot, because it's like writers and a little bit more lighthearted, but it's also like a crime procedural kind of, and who doesn't enjoy that? Like we were saying, like watching them solve a crime is the best part of the process. And so it had a little bit of that energy, but also like with ghosts, and so I really enjoyed that scene. What about your least favorite?
I hated when Boo got hit by a car.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I was really stressed out by that because I thought she might die, and I was like, please don't. No.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, go ahead. That's basically
it. I was just saying, I also, that was my least favorite because it stressed me out so bad, because I thought she was going to die, because I've been expecting Jazza to die for some reason the whole time. I just thought like, of course, like the pure good-hearted one is going to be the one who's brutally murdered. And then when she didn't die, I was like, well, maybe Boo dies. Even though I've read this book, I didn't remember any of it. It was the worst. All I remembered is that I really liked it and it had something to do with Jack the Ripper and ghosts.
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah. What about favorite characters?
I think that Rory might be my favorite character, even though she's the main character. Like that doesn't happen for me that often, but I really, really liked her. I thought she was super fun.
She was super fun. I'll surprise no one by saying that Rory was my favorite character. I love my main characters. I enjoy
character
her.
Energy.
Woohoo! What about? I keep woohooing a lot. It's probably the whiskey. I haven't had that much. You can see how much I've had through this whole thing.
You drink any. It looks like you ate the ice. That's it.
No, the ice melted. The thing is, like, whenever I do like whiskey on the rocks, it's when I need something to like sip without drinking a ton of for a long time. Like, I don't want to break open our new bottle of whiskey that was a gift because it's really nice. So I'm trying to make our little bit of Jameson that we have left. I'm trying to make it last. And so I was like, what if I just do whiskey on the rocks, which I used to drink all the time. It's been a long time since I did. But anyways, did I say least favorite character? Least favorite characters?
You were about to say it.
Least favorite characters. Go.
Who?
You go. It's your
Oh,
turn.
me go. Oh, I thought you said Joe, and I was like, what?
No, I
way.
like Joe.
I love Joe. Okay, Lise, I don't know. I guess the bad guy. I was mad at him because I was like he was kind of a good bad guy. You know, his plan was very evil, and I really appreciated that. Like he put the work in, you know. But I was like, I just have no tolerance for that kind of thing. Like, I have no tolerance for serial killers whatsoever. Like, there's no reason for you to be that.
Do any of us have tolerance for serial killers?
Well, I should hope not, you know.
I hate that he was a serial killer. I have no tolerance for that kind of behavior.
I really don't. Like, gross. What a sick, twisted guy. Yeah. Like, and especially because the murders were so brutal. That was the worst part.
It is, yeah, like, it's bad.
He was like, I'm just gonna rip this person's guts out. And I was like, ew, please don't.
Yeah.
You know, like nasty. Like, this is so embarrassing for you, honestly. That's what it felt like.
That's hilarious. I will say least favorite character him because he's a monster, but honorary mention for Jerome. Because I just did not and he's not a bad dude at all.
I know, we just didn't like vibe with him, I guess. I don't know.
Just didn't vibe with Jerome at all. I don't know if it's just because I was like, I don't like casual relationships. I don't know if that's what it was, or if it was that he kind of had like tabloid energy, or if it was just that he was a high school boy. I was just like, I don't like Jerome. I really don't like him.
There just was nothing really wrong with him, but I felt like there was nothing that exceptional about him either. And I was like, maybe if you could see ghosts, then I would like you more. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I think it really, and I mean, I think Rory felt kind of similar about him. She's like, he's cute and he kisses well.
Yeah.
But even Rory, like it really did kind of have the feeling of like a high school crush, like when your options are limited. And so you like someone even just kind of cause that's your option.
Yeah.
Like you want to like someone, so you like that person.
Exactly. She's like, he's got curly hair. He's cute. Yeah. I feel like I would like it if they stayed friends because I think she needs more friends. But
yes, I agree.
I don't really. I think also what it is I hate rooting for ships that aren't going to be the main ship because I hate losing. So I could just tell like it wasn't going to last. So I was like, there's no need for me to get invested in this at all, you know?
Yeah. What did we learn? To get back to that, what did we learn from this book?
What did we learn?
If there's a serial killer on the loose and they're like, we know when he's going to strike, stay indoors. Stay the freaking indoors.
Stay in your house.
Stay in your house.
Don't be a hero.
Don't be a hero. And also don't be like, I want to be like, oh, I was somewhere really cool when this murder happened. No, you don't. Like, you wanted to be in your house behind locked doors.
Exactly. Go touch grass, like
weirdo.
But later on when it's safe. You know, yeah exactly.
When
like
it's safe.
When it's safe. Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, don't be weird about murders, you guys. Like, it's fine to be interested in true crime and like, especially if you're like, I want to know how they got this guy or whatever. I think that's fine because I do it. But don't be weird about it. Like I agree there is a weird subculture of true crime people who are like kind of gross about it. I don't know.
They're like, I want to hear all the gory details about how the people were killed. And I'm just like, those are the worst part for me.
And it's like, I don't know. I think it's different if you're like, oh, I'm kind of interested in the Jack the Ripper murders and I want to know about that. That happened like, 150 years ago.
Yeah.
But
if
there's
it's like in the now, it's like people who follow like active murder investigations with that kind of energy.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is happening to people right now.
This is real people for sure. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not that those weren't real people, but they don't care anymore. They're dead. From a long, long, long time ago. So it's fine.
Yes. And all the people who knew and loved them are also gone.
Exactly.
So we can pretty safely talk about it without anybody being too crushed.
Yes. But if you guys are going to be into true crime, I think that's totally fine, but just be respectful about it,
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Don't be a Jerome.
Respectful. Yeah, please. Jerome was not respectful. Let's just all be respectful.
Absolutely.
And considerate and empathetic maybe a little bit, which Jerome was not at all. Maybe that's also part of why I was like, you are not sensitive at all. Like not even a little bit emotionally intelligent.
He was nice to Rory. I guess I'll give him that. He didn't actively do anything bad is the thing. No. I don't know why. I just
besides him having his paparazzi energy, which I did not enjoy.
Besides that.
Let's see. What else did we learn?
We learned
sometimes an old cell phone is not really an old cell phone. You see your friend an old Nokia Go phone? Don't trust it. Break that bitch open and look for a diamond.
Yeah, you're gonna be rich, baby.
Yeah.
We learned that diamonds kill ghosts.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, we did. We learned that you know what? I feel like Callum is learning a lot about like himself because he was killed by a ghost. Well, not killed, but he was almost killed by a ghost, which is why he has the sight. And so then he kind of has this revenge thing against them, I think, which is very in contrast to Boo, who is super like, ghosts are just people. Yeah, some of them are going to be dicks because some people are dicks, but it's not a big deal, which I love her energy about that.
Same.
But Callum is kind of stewing a little bit in his like, he's mad about it, that now this is his life because now he can't play soccer, which is what he was all about. And now he has to be a weird, cop hunter in London that hunts ghosts. So he's a little bit bitter about it. And I feel like he had to learn to let go of some of that in order to save his friends at the end, which I think is very valuable. So I think maybe don't hold on to bitterness is a good lesson.
That is a good lesson. Let go of the need for vengeance.
Yes.
Perhaps. Yeah. Know that vengeance will not heal you.
So true. Now we're talking like Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is always how our lessons learned go is we start out with some like pretty wild ones and then we're actually like, there were some real lessons in here too. But I also learned like, should you always trust the hot young cop? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, wasn't that the real takeaway?
That was the takeaway.
If he's like cute. No,
he's
just
cute.
Kidding.
No, don't. That's not real advice. I really have to like, I feel like sieve through when way to our lessons learned like which ones are like valid.
What are they? Do they mean it or what? Oh my God.
Yeah. Should we do quotes? Favorite quotes?
Yeah, let's do quotes.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Here's one that I just thought was pretty good. It's when there's a part where it's when Rory went to go tell Joe about Boo getting hit by a car because she was like, somebody should tell Joe. And Stephen was like, oh, that's very considerate of you, because none of them had really thought about her. And I'm like, listen, she's her best friend. She should know. So anyway, I liked that Rory thought of that. But Joe says, fear can't hurt you. When it washes over you, give it no power. It's a snake with no venom, which I thought was a pretty good quote.
That is a really
good
quote.
I mean, everyone's going to be scared, I think Rory really took that to heart because she was so brave at the end there.
Oh my God. Yeah.
She was literally like, well, I'm walking into a big dark staircase going down to meet a ghost serial killer who specifically wants to kill me. But she was like, it's fine.
Yep. And at the end, she's like, well, I'm going to walk into this bathroom and let him kill me now.
Like, just our girl terrifying. Went off. She was so brave.
She was so brave. Yeah. That quote reminds me of like my favorite like fear quote, not from this book. I don't even know where it came from, but I think it's just be scared and then do it anyways, which for some reason is really inspirational to me, because I'm like, that's true, actually. Like, it's okay to be scared and then do it and still be scared. Although you often find after you do the thing you were scared if it wasn't that scary. But like, it's okay to be scared. Being scared is not a problem at all. You just still do it anyways.
Yeah.
So it's good. My favorite quote, there was a couple. A lot of her when she would like make fun of being American, which just made me laugh.
Yeah,
so
those were funny.
I picked this one, which is already a sentiment I've already expressed on the pod, which is it was clearly one of those mornings when I was particularly American. You had just done something embarrassing. I forgot what, but I was like, yeah, that's good. That is what it feels like.
Honey.
I feel that way a lot. I used to feel that way a lot around my Italian family, and they would even say things too. Like my Zia Elvi, like one day I heard her talking about us to my uncle, and I was like, what is she saying? And I couldn't quite catch enough of it to like figure out what she was saying. So I asked my uncle, and he's like, she was just calling you guys crazy American girls. She doesn't understand why you're walking in the front yard barefoot, like without your shoes on. And I was like, is that really that crazy American?
It seems not that weird to me, but
doesn't seem that weird. But I was like, I guess I'm really American. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
But it was good. And I felt that way sometimes in Ireland too, where like I would say or do something and the person I'm talking to would be like, like there'd just be like a bit of a lag. And I was like, that was an American thing, wasn't it?
just not quite matching up, you know?
Yeah, I was like, that was an embarrassingly American thing. I see. Okay. But yeah, so that was good. Let's see what else. Oh, how many pinkies up?
Oh my gosh. I am going to give it. Oh, this is tough.
It is tough.
Well, is it though? My heart wants to give it 5 pinkies up, so I'm just gonna give it 5 because I loved it.
I've been going from 5. I've been trying to like guess between 4.5 and 5, and I was like 4.75. But the thing is, I forgot everything, and so I'm like, is this a reflection on my poor memory and my goldfish brain, or is it a reflection on it being a good story, but perhaps not as memorable as some of the 5 Pinkies Up books that I've read?
Very valid. Very
I don't
valid.
know. So I feel like I should give it a 4.5 Pinkies Up because it was close to a 5, but I do think if it was 4.75 or up, I think I would have remembered more. I'm hoping.
I mean, that's very, very good score. So
excellent. Okay, so we've got a 4.5 and a 5 Pinkies Up for The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson.
Yay, Maureen. Thanks, Maureen.
Hooray. Cool. Yeah, thank you, Maureen, for bringing this world into the universe, and apparently lots of other books as well.
I know. We're going to have to check her out.
I know I am, and I'm excited if any of them are like half as funny as this one is.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Let's see. If you guys want to follow us during the week, you definitely can. You don't have to wait a whole week without our beautiful voices in your ear holes. You can check us out on the TikTok and on the Instagram. Did you like that?
Oh, that was really good.
Thank you. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. You guys can keep up with us there every week, every Mondays when our new episodes come out. We just started season 4, so we've got lots of fun stuff planned, mostly thanks to you guys because you guys send us so many book recs. So if you guys have more book recs that you want to send us for season 5 potentially, or you just want to talk about books, or you just want to personally recommend a book to us that maybe we read off air, you never know. Or you want to tell us how insane we are on the podcast, or that yes, we are in fact embarrassingly American. We have one girl who's been sending us some messages from France, and I'm just like, the fact that you are speaking to us with your sophisticated self is just mind-blowing.
I know, I can't believe it. To me, French people are like very sophisticated, but that's just my stupid American brain, I'm sure, thinking that. But yeah, thanks for I can't believe people from other countries listen to this podcast.
I know they really do. I'm always like, you're really lowering your bar here, aren't you, for us?
Yeah,
and I'm really grateful.
And then I also feel bad because of the amount of times I badmouth England, and we have like multiple British listeners. So you know, I'm not talking about you. I love you.
Not you guys. It's all the other
you guys. It's everyone else. It's fine.
Okay, I badmouth Italians pretty much all the time. I don't know if we have any Italian listeners. If you guys are an Italian listener, reach out. I want to know. Yeah. If you guys want to call us out for being the worst people ever, that's fine. Go for it.
Fine. Valid.
But yeah, so if you guys want to chat with us, you can do that by DMing us on social media, or you can email us at contact@storysirenstudio.com. That is our production company. You can also go to that website and see a bunch of merch. I actually just updated some of our merch. So you should go check it out. You're gonna like it, particularly Spoons, because I like put like a soft pink background on a lot of our existing merch. So now we've got a lot of like, I know. It's so, I looked at it and I was like, this is Spoons. This is a Spoons aesthetic. So you guys go check it out. There's TPBC merch, there's Story Siren Studio merch. So go check it out. That's a good way to support the pod. And if you want to join us on Patreon, you can do that. Actually, in fact, another shout out for Catherine S. She joined our Patreon this last week.
Thank you,
so thank you, Catherine. It's so sweet. We're so glad to have you here. She's a queen. So if you guys want exclusive material, there's exclusive merch for Patreon people. There's all of our video recordings are currently exclusive for Patreon members. If you guys want to see what we look like when we're talking into the microphones, you can. It's all there. And then we also have some other fun just book content there. And you guys can also have comments and conversations in Patreon too. So go check it out. That is under Story Siren Studio again. And I think that's all we've got for you guys. So until next week, keep your teacups full.
Your pinkies high.
And your book club
pretentious. Bye.
Yay.